Hey y'all, it's Lindsay, and welcome back to my face, and welcome to a new series on my channel I'm starting called Chef Reacts To.
I'm gonna drop my croissant!
Okay, couple of disclaimers. First of all, I'm like filming on a weird setup to try and get this because I don't own a tripod yet. So if it looks weird or odd or it moves at all, that's because it moved. My fan is off. I look like I'm getting sweaty. It's because I am. I am not a chef. I went to culinary school for 4 years and I'm looking for a restaurant job. That does not mean I'm a chef. I'm aware of that. If anything, I'm a cook or restaurant worker at best. But in order for clicks and to make sense with my channel, saying Chef Reacts To for me personally just made more sense. In this case, also, I am not the first person to do this. I'm sure you know the Fine Brothers. They've done reacting to kids, adults, elders, blah blah blah, college kids, reacting to things for years. Credit to them for like this idea, I guess. Also Tristan Paredes with Vocal Coach Reacts, Brad Mondo Hairdresser Reacts, and a couple of different singers and different people of different professions reacting to things. So I thought I would do Chef Reacts To. Apparently there's someone on YouTube already doing this. Credit to Chef PK. I will link his channel down below. If he's mad at me for doing this, I'm sorry. I don't think he would be, but yeah, he does, mainly from what I've seen on his channel. I watched a bunch of videos to check that this was okay. He did reacting to Food Wars, the anime, and it seems like that seems to be kind of his main focus, is reacting to that anime. I am not an anime girl, so I probably won't be reacting to much of that. Basically what I want to do is I want to react to like food fails, that like that viral chicken pizza quesadilla thing that everyone was talking about, including like Chrissy Teigen, right? It was going viral. I want to do things like that. So I also can't talk about reacting to things without mentioning this. All of these like BuzzFeed Tasty and So Yummy and Twisted and just to name a few, those recipes and 5-minute crafts and Troom Troom and these different recipe hack video things are meant to be, right, like you're scrolling on Facebook for like moms on Facebook or like kids on YouTube if you're talking about like Troom Troom and 5-minute crafts. People aren't going to actually test and try these things, right? So I want to like watch these videos, whether it's 5-minute crafts, whether it's an advice video, whether it's like a video from Bon Appetit, like maybe I'll do a video of reacting to like gourmet makes or something. I'll do kind of whatever I want. This is not going to become like a daily, weekly thing. I'm going to get them up whenever I can film. My friend, my YouTube friend, David Seymour, those recipes that you're like, no one's going to test, he's been doing that for a long time, so I can't mention like me watching these recipes and stuff without, because if I watch something, if there's a new viral recipe, David's probably tried it on his channel. That pizza quesadilla chicken thing, he tested it. So I will leave that link down below as well. As always, check his channel out. When do I not promote him? Promote your friends, y'all. So for this first video, I also figured out how to get Streamlabs on my laptop. So you should see a little thing in the corner that will show you what I'm watching as I pause it to talk about things. What I really want to do in the future is like people to send me like their food fails or like their questions, and I would love to like you show me your failed recipes and I can explain like what went wrong or what you can do different next time. I'm going to get up to check that this looks okay and recorded right, so if it looks different, that's probably because it is. Okay, it's recording my screen. Alright, so I have logged out of my YouTube accounts, so that way it will not interfere. I shouldn't get notifications about people uploading popping up. My phone goes off, I'm sorry, but I'm the only one home, so I make it a text. Alright, so today my first reaction is going to be to this video from a channel called, let's see, a channel called Brightside. It has 264K views, and it was published on August 18th of this year, so relatively new. This channel has 29.7 million subscribers. So again, another similar channel to like Troom Troom, 5-minute crafts. They upload these like videos like why 44 simple cooking tips for beginners? Why not 45? Why not 35? It's always these like odd numbers like 23, blah blah blah, hot glue gun hacks. Hey, what's for dinner tonight?
If this kind of question makes you feel a little uneasy because you don't consider yourself the best cook in the world,
she looks so concerned.
Competitive cooking shows and tune in here. I'm about to disclose some
I will say those competitive cooking shows are not meant to be instructional. Shows like Chopped, they're meant for entertainment purposes. If you're interested in going into the culinary field, I would really say, look up things online on YouTube, watch actual cooking shows. I feel like the competitions are meant more for entertainment purposes than they are for learning anyway.
really cool cooking tricks.
Really cool cooking
Sleeve will make
tricks.
Cooking easy peasy for you.
Cooking
Well,
easy
you don't
peasy.
really keep them under
Let's
your
see.
sleeve because it could get messy in there.
Could get
Number
messy.
1, you probably know that garlic adds a delicious flavor to food. But how do you get rid of its smell after cooking? Well, simply rub.
You can. Some of these I'm gonna see if I know. Rub a lemon on your hands. Take saltine crackers and crush them. Or if you have a stainless steel surface, rub your hand on
Your
it.
fingers on stainless steel,
Ha!
like a kitchen sink, and the odor will come right off your hands.
That is very true.
2, oops, you got soggy berries, right?
Soggy
To
berries.
keep them fresh longer, mix 3 cups of water with 1 cup of apple cider vinegar and soak the berries in it for 5 minutes. Then dry them on a paper towel. 3, if you're
I kind of feel like water and vinegar, if you soak the berries in vinegar, it would kind of start to like pickle them. I know there's no sugar in it, but berries naturally release sugar and vinegar has some amounts of sugar in it. So I feel like it would just kind of start to pickle them. If you've tried any of these and they work, let me know in the comments down below.
a fan of marshmallows, then
Yes.
you should know how to keep them soft and tasty. All you have to do is put them in a jar with brown sugar. Now you can eat them later. But who on earth leaves marshmallows for later? Number 4.
I feel like if it's a bag of like for a campfire or something, like marshmallows from the store, just tie it with a twist tie. If you're keeping marshmallows for long enough that you need to store them in a jar to keep their freshness, just get a new bag from the store. They're cheap enough. Play Chubby Bunny with your friends to finish off the bag so you don't waste it.
Cooking fish on a grill is a real challenge most of the time because it sticks to the grill and falls apart.
Yes, it does. That's why you put it skin side down.
Fish on slices of lemon. It will absorb the scent of the lemon and stay whole. 5.
That's very true. You can do it for fish on the grill, or if you want to put fish in the oven on parchment, it's not as likely to stick, or even in a pan, but the lemon will prevent it from sticking, and it will add like this really great flavor.
If you need to grate something, then spray some oil on the grater. That's
Oh,
the best
okay.
way to make the food slide easier, and it doesn't get stuck in those tiny holes.
I don't like
Number
this
6.
because
Storing
already when you're grating stuff, your hands are liable to slip, and I feel like if you oil up the vegetable, it's just going to make for more of an accident, and And things like cheese, if you want to grate cheese and it's kind of soft, pop it in the freezer or the fridge, but really pop it in the freezer for a couple minutes prior to grating it, and it'll be perfect. I feel like oiling up a grater just make the vegetables slippery, and you're more likely to grate yourself. It's really not that hard to grate a carrot or an onion on a box grater, and like I said, with cheese, pop it in the freezer.
food in a bag for freezing isn't anything hard, right? But when it comes to soft products like homemade ice cream, yum, it's a bit more difficult. To make your life easier, put a bag on the bottom of an empty cup and fill it. 7. Here's
Why are you freezing ice cream in a bag? If you're gonna make ice cream, you like homemade ice cream, put it in a Tupperware container and seal it and put it in your freezer. Why would you ever freeze ice cream? If it's like soup or something you're gonna freeze in a bag to keep it flat, I understand. But homemade ice cream, I don't know why you would ever freeze it in a bag. Because then you go to serve the ice cream, it's like flat.
how to cut a watermelon without leaving the kitchen a mess. Slice it horizontally and take 1/2. Then cut
Yep.
the half into slices going one direction.
This
And
I agree
finally,
with.
While carefully keeping the slices together, also pronounced together, slide the watermelon in the other direction. to get
Together,
rid of
also
cooking
pronounced
cubes.
together.
8.
That I think would
Want an
work,
ice
yes.
cream that won't be a threat to your weight? Just put a stick in a cup of yogurt and let it freeze in the freezer. Presto, your healthy dessert is ready.
Okay, but it's not gonna look like that picture if we go back to right here. Your yogurt's not gonna look like that perfect yogurt on a stick. What I would do, you can get some cheap popsicle trays, like from even like the dollar store, but you can get like cheaper ones. You can get them from like Bed Bath and Beyond. You can get them from Target. Like get some probably in the dollar spot in Target. You can find some. If you want healthy, you can get fruit juices from the store, or even like those naked fruit smoothies. Freeze one of those. I feel like putting a stick just in like a Dannon or like a Yoplait yogurt, a Wii yogurt, whatever, Faye, whatever yogurt is, or like that almost looks like do you remember like Danimals yogurt? That's what that looks like. And I feel like that's going to be a mess because it's going to be kind of top heavy. So what I would do is I would take the yogurt and either portion it into little like paper bathroom cups, or put it in an ice cube tray and then stick like sticks in it. Or like I said, get one of those cheap popsicle things and fill it with fruit juices, coconut milk, whatever your favorite thing is, or with yogurt. But it's going to be top heavy.
9. Brown rice is a healthy grain that can be served a lot of different ways as a side dish. But if you're short on time, you can soak it in water overnight and it'll cook much faster than next day. 10. I
feel like rice is something that doesn't take the longest time, depending on how you do it. Everyone has their own way of doing rice, but rice isn't that long of an activity. And if you're really worried about not having enough time to make rice for dinner, you can get one of those like 1-minute microwave packs from the store, like the Uncle Ben's brown rice in a pack. If you're really that worried, I personally wouldn't soak it overnight. Maybe that works, but also it's been proven recently that brown rice and white rice, brown rice is always, it's healthier, and it doesn't really actually have that many more benefits now, we've discovered recently. So leave that for you to make your decisions on which you want to use.
2 minutes right in the pan with the sauce. That way, the flavor of the sauce infuses the pasta, and it'll be more delicious than usual. 11.
I agree. Putting the sauce right, like on the pasta right when it's hot is good, because a lot of people rinse it to cool it down, but when you rinse pasta, you rinse the starch off the pasta, and the starch off the pasta is going to help the sauce stick to it, and it's going to combine its flavor. But never throw away your pasta water. Always take a coffee mug or a bowl and reserve a couple cups of it, because even if it's jarred sauce, as you're mixing it with the pasta, a little bit of pasta water, that starchy water, is going to help make your sauce beautiful and creamy and form together if you find it's having trouble sticking to your pasta.
Hard-boiled eggs are probably one of the most popular breakfasts around the world.
I really like hard-boiled eggs.
Peeling them can get messy. Adding a bit of vinegar when you boil them helps the shell peel off more easily.
I've heard that, but if you're having problems peeling your egg cleanly, on an egg, I don't have one to show you, but there's the top part of the egg, and then on the bottom part of the egg, the thicker part, there's an air bubble, like a little air pocket at the bottom. So for a hard-boiled egg, when you're going to crack it, crack from the bottom where the air pocket is, and it'll be a lot easier to open. And you can also roll it, either put it in the pan and kind of just shake it, or kind of roll it on a surface. If you're doing this for something like a deviled egg where you want the outside to be pretty, but if you're just going to eat it yourself or cut it up for tuna salad or something, it doesn't really need to be perfect. But the easiest way to help if it's having trouble peeling is the thicker part on the bottom where there's an air pocket. Start from there, because that's always going to give you cleaner results.
Number 12. Your brown sugar clumped into pieces? No worries. A piece of soft white bread will solve the problem. Put it in a jar with the sugar, and it'll break back down into sandy granules in a few
This
hours.
might work, but I feel like the yeast in the bread I feel like that's okay, but you couldn't leave it like that, and eventually the sugar would reclump. So
need some drops of lemon juice, but your fruit doesn't want to give?
Pop it in the microwave
for around 20 to 30 seconds to release the juices.
Or one of my easiest things to do is take a lemon on your whatever work surface, your cutting board, your countertop, and take both hands and just run the lemon back and forth, put a lot of weight into it. You get a nice little workout. But if that's not working, or you can always also put it in the microwave and roll it. But the easiest, quickest thing, if you're trying to real quick get some lemon, roll it on your cutting board. But the microwave thing does work as well.
14. The easiest way to peel a kiwi looks like this. Chop it off at both sides. Take a spoon.
Yes, this works. I've used this. Do this. Yes. If you have a big enough knife, the garlic trick definitely works. My aunt has recently been doing you get like a plastic bowl or a microwave safe bowl, put a little couple inches of water in it, and float the garlic in it and put it in the microwave for so many seconds, or like I think like a minute 20. I think that's a little long, and it kind of helps it peel easily. I like to just smash it. I was at her house helping her make something, and she was doing a lot of garlic, so she did it. But I found when I went to cut it, it was already kind of cooked a little bit, and it was softer, which sometimes works if you're making a paste or something. But I felt like my hands smelled like garlic for 3 days. I even did like the cracker thing, and they still smelled like it. So it works either way, but I say just smash it.
16. If you've cut an avocado in two, save it from turning brown by putting a few drops of lemon juice on the
Yes, this will work. If you have an avocado,
half with a little bit of edible oil. 17.
I don't know about the oil, but if you have avocado, guacamole, apples, anything like that that are turning brown, a little bit of lemon juice in the fridge will stop it. Also, PSA, I have a scar. You can't see it, itty bitty scar on my thumb from taking the pit out of an avocado with a knife in a restaurant. I needed a stitch to keep my skin flap down. So please be careful when opening avocados. Please. I know you want to have your beautiful like avocado roses on your avocado toast for your Instagram, you influencers, but be careful opening your avocados. It can be dangerous.
Cilantro,
avocado hand is a common injury.
Or any other herb or edible plant to save yourself time during cooking and prolong their use. Finely chop them and pack the wells of ice cube trays with them, adding extra virgin olive oil.
No.
18.
Save time. I don't really see the use in that. Also, you could have put THYME and said save time and made a pun. I say you can, when you get home from the store, prep your herbs, take them out of like the bundle and wrap them in a wet paper towel in like whatever bag they came in and keep them like that, washed and ready to go in a wet paper towel. But it's not that hard to chop up some herbs. And if it's really a problem and it's really taking a lot of time to chop up your herbs, then food processor, be your best friend.
To make your fresh herbs last longer, store them in the fridge with their stems in a glass of water, like a bouquet of flowers.
You can do that, or wrap them in a wet cloth, like I said.
If you need just a few drops of citrus juice for your dish, don't cut it whole. Simply pierce the fruit with a knife or a skewer.
This will work.
Squeeze it a bit to get the juice and put it away for the next use.
This would work, but then you still have a hole in the lemon, so it could mold faster.
Evenly, make a small indent in the center
Yes,
of it with
this
your
works.
thumb
Make
when
a
it's
well
on
in your
grill or
burger.
pan. 21.
Because if you don't, your burgers, sometimes you'll go to a restaurant and get like a big burger. Now, if it's stuffed with cheese or something, that might be kind of hard. But you'll get a burger, and it'll be like this thick. I rather like thinner burgers. Maybe a little thicker than like a smash burger, but I like my burgers thinner. But when they're really thick like that, with the indent on the top, it's kind of hard to eat. So just with your thumb, make a little well, and it keeps it from rising, and then it fits on the bun better. It works.
If you don't have much time, but need to defrost something you just got out of the freezer, put it under cold running water.
Yes.
22.
We do that in culinary school all the time, but it has to be cold. If the water is even a little bit warm, it can start to cook your meat, and that's breeding grounds for salmonella and all kinds of things.
Which could be dangerous. To protect yourself...
Oh, okay, wait. This person just cut their thumb off and there's no blood. Their thumb is on the other side of the kitchen and there's no blood. That is inaccurate to real life.
Fingers, put a dish towel or damp paper towel under it to make it
Yes, we did that in culinary school all the time. If you work in a kitchen or even at home, like a kitchen cloth under it, and it will stop it from moving.
Stable.
But this person cut her thumb off and was not bleeding at all.
If you need to cut a ton of cherry tomatoes and want to do it faster, then place them between two plastic lids and slice them all at once. 24. Want a whipped cream?
No, I'm gonna have to do some editing.
Ton of cherry tomatoes and want to do it faster, then place them between two plastic lids and
I've
slice
seen
them all
this,
at once.
but it's not that hard to
24.
just cut them real quick.
Want
Little
a
cherry
whipped cream
tomatoes.
but have no blender? You can simply shake the cream in a mason jar. But hey, don't forget to put the lid on. Number 25. Keep a knife under really hot water for
Yes,
a
you can
minute,
do
then dry it with
the
a
cream
paper
in a
towel
mason
if
jar.
you want to make a clean cut through any sticky dessert like a cheesecake. 26. Use a light coating made of egg yolk and a bit of heavy cream to let your pastry get that shiny golden brown look.
This won't pause. Okay. Backpedaling here because I couldn't get my video to pause. Okay. Heavy cream, that works really great. Or for salad dressing, that's a really great tip. In a mason jar, oil, vinegar, salt, pepper, mustard, whatever your thing is, shake it, and you can store it in the mason jar in the fridge. Alright, let's go back because I think I missed something. I got a text.
Cream in a mason jar. But hey, don't forget to put the lid on.
Oh, yeah.
25. Keep a knife under
This
really hot water for
really works. The same thing works like if you're scooping ice cream. Even the knife thing really works for like cheesecakes, mousse cakes, anything like that. Highly recommend. Now this next one says for an egg wash, egg and milk. I've always just done it egg and a little bit of water, or even just the egg. Milk might make it shinier, but you can kind of use whatever. I would usually use egg and a little water, or just the egg, but if you have milk and you want to use that instead of water, I don't see why not. Go ahead, try it and let me know what you think.
This so-called egg wash over baked goods.
This so-called egg wash. Okay, so what else would it be if it's not? It's so-called egg wash. That's suspicious.
27.
The little visuals are cute.
Overcooked chicken and it's too dry. Cut up the pieces, add some mayo, some spices, and your favorite veggies. Ta-da! Delicious chicken salad is ready. 28.
Once chicken is dry, it's kind of hard. I would use it like, that's a good idea, but the chicken's still going to be dry. Chicken, mayo, and veggies. You could even do like a pasta salad, like make like a nice like dressing, like a oil, vinegar, mustard dressing to rehydrate it, but you definitely don't want to eat it dry. I'd say if your chicken is too dry, cut it up and like put it in something like a gumbo, right? Because it's gonna sit in the gumbo. You can put it in towards the end so it doesn't cook much longer, and something where it's gonna kind of rehydrate itself. You know, a gumbo, a stew, a vegetable soup, something like that, instead of just hiding it in mayo.
The sauce you're cooking has gone lumpy. Then pour it into a blender and blend for just a few seconds to get rid of those pesky clumps.
Your sauce has gone lumpy. Let's talk about why. Is it because the flour is not incorporating? You know, if you're making like, let's say like, you know, you're making a sauce on the stove and you start with like a roux base and your roux is perfect and then you add your liquid in and it's not, I don't know why your sauce is really be getting clumpy unless it's getting overcooked. If it's something like a gravy where you're adding in flour after, if you do it that way, something like that I can understand. But it really shouldn't be getting lumpy unless you're like making a tomato sauce with whole crushed like tomatoes and you want to puree it. It really shouldn't be getting lumpy if you're making it correctly.
29. Prepping salad before serving is a huge time saver. Layer all the ingredients in the bowl and don't add the dressing until it's time to serve.
This is like common knowledge. It's like a tip, but everyone does that.
You should watch for the bubbles to appear on them.
Yep.
At the moment you see little bitty bubbles around the edges, you can be sure it's the perfect time to flip.
Yes, that's true. Flip a pancake when you see bubbles.
To make them even crispier, slice the potato and soak it in cold water for an hour to get rid of the starch.
An hour?
Properly with paper towels and start.
I don't think it needs to soak for an hour.
32. Crying again while chopping an onion?
Yep,
No
chew
more
gum.
of that. Just cut off the root before you slice it. 33.
If an onion is making you cry, you can leave one end of the onion on and it seems to help. But once you get to the end of the onion, if you need to chop it like further or you leave it as is, like you still have to cut around the root. So eventually the root will be gone. Something I've heard, I've tried, I haven't really noticed, like, I feel like it helps, but you shouldn't really have gum in a professional kitchen. But if you're at home, chewing gum, instead of like those goggles or something, chewing gum can help. Something we did, if you are in a professional kitchen setting, we were cutting like pounds of onions for this big fancy dinner event. And in our kitchens, which are meant to be like professional style, on our 6-burner stoves, the gas like stays lit, so there's a lit flame at all times. So if your eyes would start to, you go over the fire and it would just kind of like, you didn't really turn it on, just the like continuous flame that's always there, it would kind of dry out your eyes.
Peel tomatoes effortlessly. Get someone else to do it. Now, Cut an X in the top.
Get someone else to do it. Yeah, that's really gonna fly in a professional kitchen.
And then simmer in a pot of hot water for 15 to 30 seconds.
This is true.
Cool them down, and the skin will fall right off.
Yep.
34.
We do that
When you
all
cook
the
something
time.
With chili peppers, coat your hands with any vegetable oil to protect
No.
the skin. Wash your hands with soap right after the cooking is done.
I don't know why you need to coat them in oil. It
If
makes
you
things
want your dinner
slippery.
To be a bit fancy, like in a restaurant, then warm your plates in the oven at a low temperature for 10 minutes.
Warm your
before serving
plates
the food.
in the oven. Put them in the fridge
36.
cold for
To
salads.
make perfect sunny side up eggs, crack them in a preheated pan coated with oil.
Yep.
And then add a bit of warm water and close the lid for 45 seconds.
Water will help, but it's
37.
not necessary.
If you need to make a lot of mashed potatoes, but don't feel like peeling them, then you can put raw, unpeeled potatoes in boiling water for 15 minutes.
Yep.
When they're soft, get them out and place them in cold water. After that,
This
the
works.
peel will come off effortlessly. 38.
This
To
works.
get egg whites faster and better, make sure they're cold and add just a bit of salt to them
Salt?
before you start the whipping process.
I don't know.
39. It's impossible to cook without a knife, right? And here's
No.
how to use it the right way.
Take an egg. Put oil in get a hot pan, put oil in it. Crack an egg, whisk it up. Scrambled eggs. You're cooking without a knife. Grilled cheese. No knife necessary. Unless I guess just spread the butter, but that's a butter knife, right? Grilled chicken in the oven. Don't need a knife. Soup on the stove. You might not need a knife, depending if you're opening a can of soup and heating it. So, not all cooking, scrambled eggs and omelets and things, you don't really need a knife for.
Chop with the rear part of the blade, not the tip, in a
Yep.
rolling motion. 40.
Protect your fingers.
Before putting a
Make
steak
a
on
claw.
the skillet,
The
dry
claw.
it off with a paper towel, ensuring it will caramelize, not steam.
Caramelizing
41.
means searing, to
make
get a
meat
nice
and
hard sear on the
poultry
outside.
juicier, brine them for an hour or so before cooking. And brining is just a fancy word for soaking in water with salt.
When you're going to brine something, like you want to brine a chicken, brining or like marinating, I find brining for like more than just an hour, like, you know, if you're gonna know you're gonna make steaks or chicken and you want it marinated the next day, flank steaks, chicken, whatever it is, put it in like a sealed bag like the night before even, and it just gets such good flavor.
The heart of any dish is seasoning. Don't be scared to experiment and use seasonings and spices you haven't tasted before.
Don't be scared to
That's the
experiment.
best way to transform
I
any
agree.
ordinary meal into something fancy.
Okay, it looked like it just had more shrimp on it, so suddenly it's fancy. I always say get in the kitchen, experiment. Even me, myself, like, and I, having gone to culinary school, and like you're taught, like, follow a recipe. But if you follow a recipe to a T and you taste it and the recipe tastes like it needs more salt, trust your instincts. That's a big thing. Trust your instincts. Trust your palate. Have someone else taste it. If it tastes, I can't tell, get a second opinion if someone's home. But yeah, don't be afraid. You never learn. You never learn by doing things perfectly every time. You learn by making mistakes and correcting those mistakes. So I think the best thing, yeah, is experiment and get in the kitchen and just play around.
43.
Sometimes the best recipes and dishes come about as accidents.
Cook whole butternut squash in the microwave for up to 3 minutes. After that, peeling it should
What?
be easy. And number 44.
Peeling a butternut squash is kind of difficult, but if you have a sharp enough peeler, usually you have to peel it about twice, and then you can cut it down the middle. I imagine, but also that kind of pre-cooks it, so I haven't tried that one. Maybe I'll have to the next time I cook butternut squash. I have a butternut squash soup recipe from culinary school, and I love it, and I made it for Thanksgiving once, and it's delicious.
The best trick for a
Last one.
mouth-watering vegetable cream soup is to fry all the vegetables separately with olive oil before blending them. The sugar in the vegetables will caramelize, making your soup more flavorful. So, what do you think?
I agree, it'll
Do you
make it
know
more
any other
flavorful,
great
yeah.
Cooking tricks?
So, if you guys would like to see more videos on this series, I'm very excited and hope that I can film more in the future. This was like a first kind of like test trial. If it does well, then there will be more coming. So, thank you all so much for all of the love. Really quick, a video of mine that I made about my special neck condition is about to hit 4,000 views, and that makes me just want to cry in the best way. But so thank you for the love on that video and on all of my videos. I recently hit 100 subscribers for the first time, so drum roll please. YouTube.com/curiousculinary is now a thing. Instead of just a random assortment of letters and numbers, I now have a URL because I hit 100 subscribers. I think I'm at 103 now. So thank you so much if you watch this and you're a subscriber. I love you all to bits and pieces. Thank you so much for everything. I hope that maybe this new series will get me some more subscribers because I have a lot of things I want to share with the world. If you have any questions for me from this video, or any other cooking videos, fails, etc. that you think I need to watch, comment down below. I think I have like my email linked on my channel, so if you have any of your own cooking fail stories, feel free to email those to me or reach out to me on any of my social medias. Those are always linked down below. You know where to find me. Also linked on my channel. So yeah, I hope this looks okay in editing. Let me know what you think. Again, credit to Chef PK and all of the other original reactors. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you're hungry for videos whenever I actually post. And I will catch up with you guys in my next video. Stay saucy. I mean, just coming for David Seymour's brand more and more every single day. Ha 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 ha! Coming for your brand, Seymour.